Hi everyone and welcome back. This is Lisa. Thanks for joining me for another video tutorial today. I'm going to be showing you some tips on how to use the Tags and Tidings stamp and die bundle from the 2018 holiday catalog. As you can see, it makes some really cute little tags and it's super easy and super quick. So this stamp and die come in a bundle and you save 10%. And of course you want to buy them in the bundle because that's where the magic happens. So as you can see, let me open this up and you can see this actual stamp. The die fits precisely over the top of all of the stamps. So you do one stamp and one cut and that's it. You're done. You have everything stamped and cut in one go. Okay, I'm going to be using my Stamparatus today, but if you don't have a Stamparatus, the stamp fits perfectly on the F block. But today we're going to be using the Stamparatus, and I want to show you a little tip here. This is our brand new grid paper that we have, and I'm also pointing out that I'm only using one door on the Stamparatus. Now this grid paper is the absolute bomb. You have to get it if you have the Stamparatus. It is awesome. But however, it has 1/4 inch marks on it. But I'm going to do something a little different. I have here a 5.5 by 4.25 inch piece of cardstock, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own template. This way I don't have to worry about counting the squares or the 1/4 inch marks. I can just lay my cardstock down because I'm going to be making many of these tags. So let me show you how I made that template. I'm taking my pencil and I am making little marks in the corners. Then I'm bringing in my T-ruler so I can get that straight, lining up those pencil marks. I'm bringing in a red pen, and you of course can use any color of pen. I'm using red because it sticks out and I can see it easily. So I'm just going to follow those pencil lines and make my template. So now that that's done, I'm going to place that back in my Stamparatus. Take note that I do have the foam pad because I'm using a photopolymer stamp. So once I have that in there, I'm going to bring in my magnets and place those on top of the grid paper. This is so when I stamp down to place this on the door of the Stamparatus, the paper will not move with it. So I'm taking my stamp and I'm getting it positioned into the center of that template where I want. I'm also leaving some room at the top and the bottom for my magnets. So once I get this positioned, which just takes a second, it doesn't take long at all, I just want to be sure that I have everything within that template. Now I'm closing the door and pressing that stamp down on the door. And now we're ready for our cardstock. So I'm bringing in again that piece of cardstock, which is 5.5 inches by 4.25 inches. I'm placing it inside that template that I've made, and I'm putting the magnets down at the bottom and the top where I've allowed the room. And if you'll notice, I do, the end of my magnet is broken a little. It still works just fine, but if you have a problem with your magnets, those are available for purchase. Now I wanted to show you that if you have a Stampin' Spot or even an uninked Stampin' Spot and you can add ink to it, you can do different colors along the way, or you can take your Stampin' Write marker and use that as ink as well. You don't have to color it all the same. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm just using my Memento black ink. And again, as I said, this is a new stamp, so it's going to take me just a couple of seconds longer to ink this up. In some areas, I'm using like a twisting motion to help get the ink down. especially in the darker, more solid places is where the twisting motion helps. That way you don't have little bubbles of ink. Okay, so we have the ink down, and I'm closing the door on my stamp apparatus, and I'm placing even pressure all the way around where the stamp meets the cardstock. This is just to ensure that we have a good image. And there we go. Everything is stamped perfectly. Now we're ready to take this and use our die to cut them out, and that will cut them all out at the same time. And that is magic. So I have my magnetic platform and an acrylic plate. I've got my cardstock down here where I've stamped my tags. Now I'm using the die and I'm just aligning it on top of the tags just so that it matches perfectly, which just takes, it's super easy. It just takes a second to do this because you can see clearly where each tag goes with the die. Okay, once I have that done, I'm placing an acrylic plate on the top, ran it through my Big Shot, and now all of the tags pop out and they are perfectly aligned. They have little tiny holes pre-cut in them, so you can tie a string around them or a piece of ribbon, and you can add them with larger tags if you would like as an accent, or you can use them alone. And you have a bunch of them, and they are all each adorable. So I've gone ahead and colored these. They're easy to color and quick because they're so small. And I've used a couple of different mediums. I've used my aqua painter along with my watercolor pencils. You could also use your aqua painter along with ink. I've also used my blender my blender pen along with my ink and my watercolor pencils, and then of course I've used a few of the Stampin' Blends as well. So use your imagination and color your heart out. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed this video today. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I always appreciate you hanging out with me. I hope that you have a really good day. And until we meet again next time, happy crafting. Bye-bye for now.